Whoa, are we going? Are we there?
Hey, folks.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
I am.
Yo, are we live?
Yeah, I think we're live. I don't have YouTube open, but I saw someone say hello. Garrett Solomon said hello. Hi, Garrett.
Hello, Garrett.
Hey, Garrett.
I'm going to change the banner here. So we're podcasting. Obviously, you can see this is our first time doing something like this. So we'll see how it goes. But welcome to the first, maybe only, maybe first, I don't know. But Mondo happy hour. It's weird times outside right now, so we just wanted to find a way to talk not only with each other but with everybody else, all of you guys. So yeah, we thought this would be fun to jump on and hang out and see what everyone's doing, see how everyone is handling quarantine times, and yeah, just catch up. So yeah, hi everybody. How are you guys?
I'm really glad that 4 of us have changed into black t-shirts since we last tested this.
Yeah, Mo, did you not get the memo?
I can't change into a black t-shirt.
I can't tell what Rob's got underneath.
T-shirts.
I did change shirts. I admit it.
Mo is the bold one. Mo embraces the color, man.
Yeah, always.
It's a
It's
ray of
true.
positivity among all the glum suckers.
Yeah, black is super on brand for just about everybody else, but Mo will always just show up in purple, and bless him for it. Purple and pink. That's my guy. So we'll let some people file in here, and then we'll just start hanging out and seeing where the night goes. Who made a drink? Who's got a little something? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I see.
I got a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
Well, you and your buddy, Rob.
Lord of
I got
Beckert.
coffee. Yeah, he's got a lot of drinks too.
I have an old fashioned with whistle pig, maple syrup, and some Rebel Yell.
Whoa. You must really impress bartenders when you make an order.
Yeah,
No,
I'm always impressed by Spencer, whether or not he's drinking Whistle Pig.
I'm always terrified making an order.
Oh no, the whistle pig is maple syrup for the old fashioned.
Oh, it's not actually booze, it's maple syrup?
Yeah, aged in whistle pig barrels.
I gotcha. Oh, we talked about this before. Okay.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
We put some happy hour recipes on our blog, so if anybody is completely just spacing on what you could put in a drink, there's an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic version if you want to mosey on over to the blog, curated by our own Allie Whalen here, former bartender.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can ever be a former bartender. I feel like
just bartender.
you're a bartender. You're a
I
bartender.
You're our
do
bartender.
remember our retreat a couple of years ago, Ali, when you ended up tending bar 3 or 4 nights in a row.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the
Cheers.
best way to be at a party and watch what's happening, still be involved, but not get as obliterated as the people that you're feeding a lot of alcohol to.
That's why I DJ. It gives me an opportunity to see everybody and be there without having to engage in the same amount of drinking as everyone else on a regular basis.
Wow, me and Mo, different DJ goals. I'm generally smashed, screaming at people, dancing to Dex's Midnight Runners.
Well, I'm going to make my cocktail now.
Do it.
Ooh,
Not,
you're gonna do
by
a
my
cocktail.
cocktail, I mean the cocktail, the tequila canyon.
Will you show us how to do it,
I mean, yeah.
bartender?
Yeah, sure. I have all my my stuff in front of me. I think I can swear.
This is a family program, Allie.
Well, I'll be careful. It's a tequila canyon. It's not a tiki drink, I'll admit that, but I wanted to find a drink that was easy enough to build if you didn't have a lot of bar materials. So this is just pour all of it in a glass and then drink it. That's as complicated as this one gets. And Hector had asked that we have it be a tequila cocktail. So we found Tequila Canyon. So I'm going to build it in front of you guys. You can't see it, but I promise you I'm telling the truth. I'm gonna build from the cheapest ingredients up, so that way you don't, in case you mess up, you don't spoil your expensive ingredients like your fancy tequila. But I have 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Pouring this all over ice. I'm gonna show you in my Halloween tiki mug. Beautiful mug, one of my favorites. And then 1 ounce of cranberry juice. Really hitting your fruit target for the day. Come on, guys, give me more commentary.
I was listening.
It's not a household staple. I had to just run out literally an hour ago to go get some cranberry juice. And when I saw that it only required 1 ounce, and the bottle I got was about the size of this. So I'm going to be working on this cranberry juice for a while. So thanks.
I want to say hi to
12 cocktails.
Who are we saying hi to?
Yeah, I want to say hi to a couple people. Where are we coming from? Where are you guys living, and how are you guys doing? I see a lot of folks here. I see. Ooh, look at this. Look at this guy. Got a little Justin. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
People are still making their booze. This is triple sec. It's a quarter ounce.
Justin, you'll appreciate this. I'll tell this story. Last time we did this little sample program, we ended up talking to each other about why we don't do certain content on the website anymore on our blog. And it came up that originally Justin Ishmael pitched this idea of us all writing blog reviews for movies that we had seen, and that you were the only person who actually did it, and it was for Looper, and it still lives on our site, and it is a really funny Mondo artifact at this point.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen Looper, go into our site, and there's a great review by Justin Beckert that you can read right now.
Link in bio. Kezia, can we put that in?
Oh, Aaron Tapkin. Saskatoon. We got someone from Canada coming up here.
Hey, we got a Joe VW in there too.
Oh, we got a JDW. Boston, Austin, Dallas, Ohio. Hi, Aaron. Miss you.
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Don't mind me. I'm just using my hands to take some ice and put it in my cup. I washed them.
Your hands or the ice?
Both.
I didn't very sure until you said it.
Very cautious.
What's up, Aaron? Hope you're doing well, man. Ooh, Mo's getting a lot of love here on that fancy white mic setup and the pop filter.
That's true.
I thought it was like a ray gun at first. I thought it was like some sort of sticky thing in front.
In case it gets tired of us all.
I thought some first-person shooter game that was like attacking Mo. It was really weird.
This Larry heater next to Rob, that was not constructed for this. That's been sitting in Rob's kitchen for about a week now. He's just been
this is the third version I've made. I had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, this is the Mark III, but he's just been sending Mitch and I just texts of him sitting next to this guy, and it's been wild.
Quarantine creativity. All we made was drinks.
Yeah, I don't. I'm terrible at making drinks. I've never been good at it. I don't know why.
Man, someone tuning in from London.
Yo.
Up in Spence's neck of the woods there.
Staying up late, son.
What time is it there, Spence?
It's 10 after midnight.
It's tomorrow?
Yeah. That's just how we roll, man. The future, the past, and the present.
So, here's a question. Yeah, by the way, if anyone has any questions, feel free, just drop them in. We have the chat going, so we'll take any and all that we can and answer what we can. But so a few Mondo Talks ago, Rob told a story about Park Chan-wook visiting the gallery. He asked why we hadn't done any posters for his movies. Rob, why haven't we done any posters, and are those still happening at some point?
Those are still happening at some point. Well, would you care to elaborate, Henry? Yeah, that's a good point. That sums it up. There you go. I don't think I can top that. So there you go. Let's leave it there.
Yeah, they are still happening. We're working on a couple Park Chan-wook posters, and they will definitely be coming down the road, hopefully soon.
Hey, why don't we just go ahead and tease the main one? Why not? Before Mitch gets on here and tells us not to.
He's here, you know.
Mitch is here. By the way, there are more people hanging out in the kind of off-camera area, so we'll be jumping in.
Drop me out and put Mitch in real quick. Let him answer the question.
Right. Everyone say bye to Rob and Hedera.
Bye, Rob.
I really want to do the Handmaiden soundtrack. That's like one of my favorite albums in
There's
the last
Mitch.
5 years.
We have a Handmaiden poster coming from a really great artist that we've never worked with before.
Yeah, it's so good.
Should we tease it out?
If you want, man.
I mean, I want to know.
Yeah,
We
me
have
too.
a Handmaiden poster coming by Jessica Cooper.
Awesome.
She's really good, and it's really good. It's
The
coming
last
soon.
Handmaiden poster is my latest Mondo poster in the house.
All we see is darkness behind you.
Mo didn't get the goth memo. You can see it's here.
Oh no, yeah, it's kind of dark in here.
Yeah, all the brightness is up front. With
Memo received.
What else we got here? Got some folks from Chicago.
Yeah,
In the chat, we have some folks from Chicago.
my heart goes out to you, fellow Chicagoans.
Mo Spence, you've done a release for the Portal soundtrack. Is there any plan to do a release of Portal 2?
Mo, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Mo's on mute.
It's a secret.
Sorry about
If you can read his
my
lips,
mic.
then
Spence and I, the music department, have terrible Macs that all crap out with their mics and their headphone jacks. The answer is yes, actually. We were talking to Valve about Half-Life, the new Half-Life game, and they reminded us that very, very long time ago that we were in talks to do Portal 2 as a gigantic box set, because that soundtrack is really long. It's like 6 discs long, but we're still doing it. It's probably going to come out next year for the 10th anniversary of Portal 2, which is it's pretty crazy. It's been 10 years since that game came out.
Can I take Woe Rang's question?
Yeah, 1 second. About shipping worldwide, we would love to, and we try to the best we can. A lot of times when we can't, it's purely licensing, and that's it. Believe me, we don't want to have to put any sort of limits. It just has to do with kind of licensing and contracts and some more dry things like that. But we're working on it. We're going to continue to work on it. Some things have opened up, and as best we can, we want to be able to get everything to everybody all over the world. Who did you want to go to, Mitch?
Woe Rang.
You had a question about
Toxicity.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
And
go ahead and start addressing it. I'll try and find it here.
So he or she asked, how do we deal with toxicity when a hype print releases? Seeing complaining about bots all the time. It's really been difficult over the years to sort of develop a stance on bots and flipping and everything that happens in this hobby. And through a lot of experience, both inside and out of Mondo, I've just kind of believed that if whatever you do to change, to shut down bots, they sort of find a way to get the next thing. And this isn't just a problem with us. This is a problem with companies much, much larger than us. This is a problem with Nike. This is a problem with baseball cards. This is a problem with all kinds of things. And so I think you can get into a constant loop where you're trying to shut off bots and then they just redevelop their bots to work with the new website. And that's sort of the same thing with flippers. I watched Shepard Fairey try to shut down flippers and, try to track everyone's name and number. And eventually they all just used fake name and fake eBay accounts. So we just kind of really appreciate the fans that we have and the sales that we do get. And, what people do with them afterwards is sort of out of our control, and we can either fight that or understand that, and we've chosen to understand that, I think.
There's another question here. Now that SCCC is canceled, will MondoCon happen this year? MondoCon, we were not going to do this year anyway. We were kind of moving it to a biannual event. So the next MondoCon, in theory, would be 2021. With Comic-Con being canceled, we're trying to figure out obviously maybe something fun that we could do to sort of occupy that space. But all of that is definitely kind of swirling around in our heads at the moment. But hopefully we'll do something fun. It won't replace being able to go and hang out with everybody and at one of the funnest, most busiest, craziest places. But we'll make do.
All those people slammed into a convention center together.
No. Oh, Christopher. Oh,
Hi, Chris.
Christopher. Oh, Christopher.
I've said all I had to say on the subject yesterday on my Instagram. That's all I
Yeah,
have to say.
I think Mo put out one of the spiciest teases I've seen in a while yesterday.
All I did was highlight a couple of files that I have on my hard drive. One in particular being lucasfilm.ai, which was a fun file that I got in the mail recently. That's all I can really say at the moment. But read between the lines. Electronic mail.
Yeah.
Yes. Wizard of Oz is definitely still happening. It's a super complicated package, but it's well, hopefully will be coming this year. But
Yeah.
And a couple other departments will be able to support.
Yay!
The reality is, sadly, that there's only like one or two printers in the world who can fully realize the mania that is Alan Hines' vision. And one of those happens to be in California. They're called Stoughton. And California's been shut down for a very, very long time to non-essential businesses. So as soon as they're back up and running, we should be able to get a final CAD going for the accordion package. And then once we have that going, for those who don't know what we're talking about, at MondoCon we teased Alan Hines' Wizard of Oz package. And I wish we can show you right now what we're talking about, but it's a very complex package. Alan Hines, who did our Fight Club package, our Portal package, a bunch of really amazing soundtrack art for us. Created something equally as complex for Wizard of Oz, which we're doing. Maybe for some of you it's the first time you're hearing this, but we should be having it out this year. It's just a matter of whether or not Stoughton can get back up and running.
If anyone else sees any questions, whether you're behind the scenes or up front, feel free to call them out or just start addressing them. And say people
yes.
Anybody asking questions, continue to ask them because it's kind of this is our first time. So
yes, more Sashin Tang posters. Yes, hopefully more Ghibli. I'm just going through a bunch of.
Eric, do you want to talk about X-Men?
Yeah.
Did we get asked X-Men?
Yeah, there's a John in here, John Mosier, that's pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
We can hit Booty Beatson's question in the same breath.
Yeah, it kind of tackles both, right? X-Men. Holy shit! The new X-Men books. We're obsessed with them. Allie and I have been reading them, since Hickman kicked it off, and have been nerding out to each other pretty hard about it. And yeah, we're doing shit for it. We're doing a couple posters and some other things. And some other things in the other item space. But yeah, though that's we wanted to get them out sooner. Obviously some things end up getting kicked down the road a little bit, but that's definitely still happening. That question keeps getting popped up a lot on if that's still coming and if we forgot about it. We have not forgot about it.
We didn't.
It's still very much front of mind and something we're super excited about. And it's a pretty big
bully you. Every single morning, the first thing I do is text him what's going on with that X-Men stuff, and he's always a gentleman about it. He always says, "No new updates soon."
Well, I would like to mention the fact that I'm very excited about the fact that we are working with Tom Muller on a couple of items for this collection, who is the graphic designer for that series.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
If you if you're reading the books, they have a very unique kind of visual identity that's associated with them. And we reached out to the designer, Tom Muller, like Ali was mentioning. And we have some things working with him as well. Matt Taylor, if you don't follow him, he's a fantastic artist and one that we work with quite often. He's maybe working on something related to X-Men, and maybe
he actually checked in to say, "Tell me more about X-Men."
tell us more about X-Men. If you follow Matt, you might get.
He'll tell you more about X-Men.
He leaves little breadcrumbs in his Instagram stories that disappear after 24 hours. So,
Hey Matt, your Avengers box set sold out. Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
There's been a couple of questions here about why we decided to change to the drop in a static time rather than a random time, and what the thinking was behind that. I think we do have to say that we have to give 100% credit of that to the president of the company, Jason Jones, and it was a pretty controversial topic within Mondo, actually. Some people liked it, some didn't, and overall we just didn't know what to think, and it's gone really, really well, so we've been totally happy with it.
what else do we see here? Are we going to get...
Also, Joe Wong keeps asking us if we like The Last Dance. I'm just going to say yes. It's so good.
I'm going to say yes to the question that's on screen as well.
Oh, yeah, someday. The first one took 2 years, so don't hold your breath.
We are aware of SofaCon. SofaCon's great. Mike is great. All the artists that participate are great. And yes, all great. Matt, yes, you can just come hang out for the weekend. Assuming that travel is safe and everything is safe to hang out. Yeah, would love that.
Matt, what you don't know is that we're hosting Elizabethtown Con here this coming fall for the 10th anniversary of the film. So come on down. It'll be great. You, me, Julie, it'll be awesome.
Fernando, no, that's not happening. That fell to a different label. But I'm still excited to buy it. Someone's asking about if we're going to do The Rock. No.
Is it Greg McLennan?
No, it's not.
You know, multiple people have asked about The Rock, and I don't remember the score very well.
No.
And last time I asked, is it Hans Zimmer? No, I have to assume it is, right?
I think it's after our conversation on Instagram Live.
Yeah. I love the film. I've seen it a bunch. The problem is that it's a Disney film and it's a Disney score, and we have sort of this like running list with Disney on the soundtrack side of things. And I this is completely separate from the poster side of things and the collectibles and the enamel pins and all that stuff. But on the soundtrack side of things, we're lucky that we get to work with Hollywood Records, and they have this like massive catalog. So literally everything Disney, now everything Fox that you can think of is all with them. And imagine if you got to do just like 5 titles a year with them, if you're lucky, and some of them being new things. So already this year we've done the Avengers soundtracks. We're doing Mission Impossible 2. That's strangely Hollywood Records also. That's a Hans Zimmer score that maybe you associate with a movie that you don't love, but it's an amazing score. We have a couple of other sort of Disney adjacent things happening. I think we even teased it on our last Instagram Live that we're doing Nightmare Before Christmas. So when like all that stuff starts to accumulate, you start going like, okay, like what can we actually viably achieve this year? And then people ask about The Rock, and you go like, I love that movie. Maybe soon, eventually. So don't say that as no. It's just that we have a long running list, and it's not at the top of it, unfortunately.
Lucas is asking about Amelie, and that's something that we've been working on and off for the last 5 years.
It's nice to have a holy grail. It's nice to have a title that still keeps us young and on our feet.
That's definitely high on the list, but it's just taking a bit longer than usual. But we are on it, believe me.
Jamie, do you want to talk about our puzzles?
Question. Yes. So the question is, are there plans for more puzzle releases of previously released prints? And the answer is yes. Puzzles are doing really well right now because everybody's stuck at home. And so I feel like finally people are starting to realize that I've been cool all along. But yeah, the thinking behind our puzzles is that we were just kind of tired of making pictures of barns and kittens. And so we figured, let's breathe some extra life into this art that we already know and love. And they've done really well for us. So we're going to put out some others that we're excited about. We're not quite ready to tease out what we're working on yet. But there are more than double what we've put out so far in the hopper right now. There's lots and lots of puzzles.
Going to this question as well. we're huge fans of Julian Tedesco's, and I first saw his stuff when he did covers for Hawkeye. I think maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, he did an amazing run of covers on Hawkeye, and I'd been sharing them with Mitch and Rob, and we got him on Labyrinth, and he crushed it. And we have the next maybe 2 or 3 projects, lined up on what we're going to do with him next. So can't wait to keep doing that. So I want to hear about the animated series Volume 2 box set.
We just got our last round of notes on it. Not getting into the weeds a little bit, but it has to pass through all these approvals, and the last step was DC Comics, who more or less approved it all. We were just going through some last minute, little odds and ends on the end. So I think that this summer, it's no firm date. It's an 8-disc box set and has to be transported by a boat across the ocean to get to us. But I imagine sometime before August or September. Keep an eye out. It's beautiful, as you may expect if you've been following Justin's work on Batman the Animated Series. It's nothing less than the last one, and it's absolutely stellar.
I'm going to steal this question because this is a exciting one for me. I would love to do this. If you can see behind me, I'm a big omnibus.
Did you
fan.
ask your own question on YouTube while I was doing it? Did you type in omnibuses?
I have a burner YouTube account, and I'm just going in there. Where are the omnibuses? What's going on there?
Didn't realize you went by Jacques on YouTube.
Yeah, I would answer that. I would love that. That'd be awesome. We have something coming up with Marvel. I think it's already been announced in Previews World magazine, but there's a Marvel Art of Mondo kind of poster book coming out from Marvel later in the year that we're super excited about. We curated like 20 Marvel pieces that we've done in the years past, and that should be coming out, I think, in like September or October or something like that. Yeah, anything we can do Marvel, that's great. Definitely more steelbook cases. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, steelbook is great, and we want to keep doing more of those and make them available to more people. What else do we got here? Need some Kurosawa posters. I agree.
Eric, let's hit that question from Peter Flores.
Yeah. I just messaged you about that.
Curious how the pandemic affected the state of affairs, meetings, shippings, overall business.
Well, this is it.
This is our overall business. Honestly, daily we're getting on and we're hanging out and just Zoom calls or doing this now that we're going to be doing these things hopefully more often. But yeah, this as far as like state of the affairs of general day to day. Just like anywhere else, meetings are all, digital conferences. We've never been in so many Zoom or Google Hangout meetings in our life.
I mean, Mitch and Spence, this is kind of their normal day to day, right? Like, y'all are pretty used to seeing us digitally. Jamie, I mean, you moved here during the pandemic. You're in Austin now, but you also have always spoken to us through digital formats. So, like, what I miss the most is being in that office space and being able to rap with Mo and Eric and Rank and just everybody in that space and have that community, but it's just not the same.
If you listen to our latest episode of the podcast, that's pretty much what it's like on a meeting with us lately, where it's like 35 minutes of talking about how often do you wash your pillowcases, and then like 15 minutes of like, what do you have coming up and how can I help?
I mean, I work remotely anyway, and I see you guys, quite a few times a year, but I think it's pretty wild for me to think that I'm probably not going to be in the States this year at all, like in the office in Austin.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's sad, and having all the events canceled is sad because that's one of the perks of the gig is getting to go places with each other and meet up and have all these fun times. But I will say that having our little Zooms where, someone's DJing and we're just sitting quietly working, and once in a while someone will say something silly. That's been really nice, even if we're not in the office. So
yeah, we've been doing that. It's honestly just like a great space to like for your own mental health, just like Jamie said, even if you don't have anything to say, just getting on and seeing somebody and listening to music with another person has been good. So operations haven't really changed too much. I mean, we have a shipping team that are still working. It's a small shipping team, and they're
yeah, shout out to them, man. Like seriously, I stop in the office maybe once a week to go and like wrangle test pressing things that are coming in still regularly, and they're busting ass shipping posters and like keeping things incredibly safe and just being amazing people.
Yes, cheers to them for sure.
Hey, can we take the question about, well, we have two questions. Can we get Rob Jones on the next one of these? And there's a question about Kent Williams' Godzilla. Do we want to try to get Rob in here to help answer that?
I also would like to get Hector in here to answer the questions about mechas.
Yeah, you can tag me out if you want, Eric. Feel free to...
All right, everybody say bye to Mo for a minute.
Bye.
Let's get Hector. Anybody want to volunteer to let Rob sub in for a minute?
Yeah.
Aaron, just tag us out as and when. It's more fun.
Just cut us.
Yeah.
Execution style.
Hey,
Dude.
Hector.
How's it going, dude?
Hi, Hector.
Hey, man. Nice to see you.
Rob's gone. It's
wild,
just he, oh, wait. We can't see Rob anymore, but I see movement.
Rob's off to the
Hedora's all I need to see.
So somebody asked about Kent Williams' Godzilla poster. We were originally, full transparency, we were originally going to save that one back for San Diego Comic-Con. Since San Diego Comic-Con is not happening, it will be coming sometime soon, between now and when San Diego Comic-Con would have happened.
It was also my favorite poster from the Godzilla show.
It's very different than what we normally do. Oh, full cat blockage going on right now.
Rob's menagerie.
Someone else asked what we think of the Mondo Trader group on Facebook. You know, I think that it's really easy to get pulled down by some of the negativity there, but as an overall, we are hugely, hugely grateful that there's such a big community talking about what we release. And they do a lot of the work for us over there as far as getting people to know what we have coming out. So we appreciate that.
Mitch, you want to take this one on screen?
Oh, I don't know how to answer this question.
Just yes.
They've been approached.
They've been approached. We will probably do something eventually soon. We've gone through many, many different plans of how big or how small this could be, and it's probably looking relatively small, but we do have some stuff coming eventually.
If you're into it, just tell us on social media. So then Mitch will know that there's people out there that
I mean that hasn't been
your vision.
That hasn't been the recent problem, but yes, there are some things coming for WWE.
Hector, it's your turn.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. We've been trying to get this one done for the longest time, and it's definitely going to be happening much sooner than later.
Everybody's Zoom backgrounds. There's an inside joke. We had a Zoom call. We do like a weekly happy hour with it within the company, and Mo, he changed his location for tonight, but usually he's sitting in his dining room where there's no art visibly behind him. There's just an oddly placed very high on his ceiling electrical socket.
Not ceiling. Let's be clear.
it's like mid ceiling. It's maybe
that would be absurd.
It's like
it's a hot place.
It's like 4 feet from the floor, up in the center of the wall. But it's become like his kind of trademark. So at one point on one of the happy hour calls, he disappeared. He took a phone call from his mother, so he disappeared for a few minutes. And when he came back, all of us had taken a screenshot of his kitchen outlet and just changed our Zoom backgrounds to it. So when he came back, there was a fun little surprise waiting for him. Anyone else see anything? Start shouting it out.
Yeah, Jake the Great's asking about Jock's Cornetto vinyl, final part of the trilogy. That's definitely on the way. Very, very much underway right now.
We got a question a while back that I can try and find it, but somebody had asked about what we were making that we were most proud of or excited about. Whoever asked that question, ask it again.
Oh yeah.
Tikis.
Hector, any hits?
Yeah, Hector, there's been questions about tikis and mechas.
Yeah, well, hints. Yeah, we have some cool stuff in the works. We're really excited about stuff for Toho. Not exactly sure which ones we're going to do, but we have some stuff for Toho in the works. For Mecha, the Soundwave question, we're still working on it. The first one that'll probably come out in that line will be the Spider-Man Mecha. Besides Iron Giant, that already went up on the site a while back.
I'm very excited for that Spider-Man mecha.
Me too. I think it's my favorite one of the bunch.
Same.
So yeah, we're going to try to fast track that as soon as possible.
Mitch, do you want to speak to this? I know gallery shows and events are kind of a big question mark at the moment with the world, but
Oh man, I don't know if I can tease this out yet, just because it's. I will say this: I talked about it. I don't know if I've talked about it. I don't think I have talked about it at all in public. I have this crazy idea that's a real weird idea, but I don't want to talk about it now because I think it'll get stolen. And also, yeah, we don't know what the story is with us and gallery shows and our gallery space and people more than 10 getting together, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So time will come. There is a similar show that I have in mind in a similar, maybe not exact price range, with a similar spirit that we are planning to do someday, somewhere. That's what I can say.
Blade Runner 2049, yeah, hopefully. That one's been a tricky one on our end, but yeah, definitely. We have something coming out. We're working on a couple things, so yeah, there will be a poster coming out soon. Not soon. I don't want to say soon. Don't hold me to that.
To Ali's question, that was someone else asked. What are you guys working on that you're excited that you can talk about? Like,
are you asking us, Spencer?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Hector, I want to hear what you think actually, because I want to ask you that personally as a friend, but also in front of everybody.
Oh geez. Oh my God. I was like reading all these comments and I totally zoned out on what the question was.
What are you working on that you're excited about?
Oh man. We are working on, currently I am I'm painting our Godzilla statue that we're going to be releasing or putting up fairly soon here. I'm painting that right now. It's sitting at my desk. And yeah, that's what I'm pretty excited about right now, getting that finished up.
Nice. I'm currently excited about this collection that I've got coming. I mentioned it on the podcast when we recorded it. I was feeling really nervous about talking about what it is and what it was composed of. I'm feeling less nervous about it now, but working on some properties that we haven't done apparel for in a long time, specifically like stuff like Jurassic Park. Finally being able to do shirts for that again after a lull in licensing and not being able to make stuff for that movie. And it's so ripe with good ideas. And I will say that our friend Leslie Herman had been tasked with creating an apparel design for Jurassic Park. And he always sends like 10 to 20 design ideas, and 80% of them are brilliant. So I couldn't help myself. I had to do at least 2 of them, and they're fantastic. And I can't wait to show you guys.
The MondoCon live draw posters. The plan going into them is always to hope to actually produce them. That way there is like some sort of weird documentation of like seeing in a condensed way what like a poster creation process goes through, or from start to finish. So it's always been tough on the back end. I mean, Goldfinger is hard no matter what, but we have made some hopefully positive strides on the MondoCon live draw that was done at last year, 2019. So if you were at the show and you saw what that was, hopefully that will be a real thing sometime soon.
Is Census Fail Rules? Is that Mo's burner account?
That might be mine also. I don't know.
Hi, Billy. I just want to say it out loud.
Hi, Billy.
In the chat, but I also want to say hi out loud to Billy.
All of these are great suggestions and things that we would all love to do for sure.
yeah, I would do anything to work on HBO.
I loved Watchmen a lot.
Yeah.
And even I like Paddington.
I love Paddington.
Everybody likes Paddington. I mean, that's an unfair statement, but I feel like most people should like Paddington because it makes your life better.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Hector, will any previously sold out tikis that are not limited eventually restock?
Yeah, there's a few. I don't have any issue naming it. We do plan on restocking the Jaws multicolor. That's a big one. And then we are thinking about restocking some of the sold out Krampus mugs as well. And then it's just kind of like a case per case basis.
Ooh, Julian. More Kubrick.
Yeah, Julian's asked about more Kubrick. We had some very exciting news in the soundtrack department today regarding Eyes Wide Shut. So that's definitely going to be this year.
Really? We should talk about that because I have some exciting Kubrick stuff too.
Yes.
Maybe we can coordinate. This is how it goes.
Taylor, we love
This
Ryan
is how we
Johnson.
do our job. Is that we just happen to find out that somebody else is working on something at the same time, and then we try to coordinate.
This is a weird one to answer, but I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. The last kind of story I had heard was that there had been an effort to reach out for communication and then just radio silence. So that once that kind of left our, once we shipped it out and the golden ticket kind of left us, like we didn't really have much to do with it. So I don't know, honestly.
I'm seeing someone asking about Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I actually want to do that too. I might reach out right now and see if we can do something for that. Let me reach out live.
Let us know when you hear back.
I'm going to send the text right now and I'll let you know.
Perspective on the Mind Intern show. That's one of my favorite shows that we've ever done, gallery shows. For context, it was a solo show that Sunny Day from We Buy Your Kids did. And he essentially just invited people to come in and have one-on-one conversations with him. And while you guys were talking, or while you were talking with Sunny, he would just be drawing kind of whatever came to his mind based on the feedback or the stories that you were telling. And it was pretty amazing. A lot of us did it ourselves, but then actually being there on the night or the day that Sunny was doing them, it was like this kind of therapy. It became this like sort of therapy session for so many people where like shit got really real and like people immediately opened up, which makes total sense because Sunny's one of the best human beings to walk the earth, and it's really easy to kind of just open up and chat with him. But I think we were all really taken aback at like how raw people got with someone that they were meeting and just talking to for the first time, and then the work that Sunny was producing out of it was amazing. So anytime Sunny comes to us with like an idea that he has, where the door's open, just like, yeah, whatever you want to do, man.
Live answer, yes, we will do a poster for Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
No kidding.
I talked to Sonny about the show shortly after, and he said it was so exhausting because it was like he was just taking so much, mental weight from folks. And
From people, yeah.
Yeah, he was like immediately becoming a psychiatrist without any training about how to handle that kind of stuff. If you ever see the 30 Rock episodes about that, it's pretty close.
Someone's asking favorite soundtracks of the last few months. You guys, what have you been listening to, or has anything stood out to you?
The one that stood out to me personally has been Watchmen, the Reznor and Ross Watchmen score.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that.
I feel like this year's been insane, especially for TV, and I guess maybe it's a little bit more under the microscope right now because we're all staying in. But like Devs was incredible, Tales from the Loop. I'm currently watching Dispatches from St. Elsewhere, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic, and the score by Atticus Ross is absolutely incredible, man. There's been so much good stuff this year.
Allie, will the Mothra pin be restocked?
No. But because I have another one in the works that I want you to see first and see if you like it. Tom might be somewhere around here, and Tom's got a couple more pins to add to that series as well. So we have a few things I want to go through first before restocking anything that we've already released.
Any plans on new Scott Pilgrim related releases? Yes. Hopefully this year's the year. It's the 10th anniversary of the movie, and prior to all of this, we wanted to really blow that out. I don't know how possible it's going to be yet, but yeah, we're definitely going to do some stuff for that this year.
I would love to at some point.
Need more by your kids, Prince? Stay tuned.
You're gonna get them.
Stay tuned. A Buffy poster someday. Stay tuned. Sooner than you think. I'll say that.
Name a date.
These are softballs.
If you're subscribed to our newsletter, be subscribed to it by Wednesday of next week. If you're not subscribed, be subscribed by Wednesday, I would say. Any more Edgar Wright stuff in the works? Yep. With Scott Pilgrim. And then we love doing the Cornetto with anybody that wants to do it. So Spence, any horror soundtrack? Oh, Scott C. solo show. That's not the question I meant to click, but we can talk about it. Maybe. Hey, look at this guy. Look at Jay Shaw.
Jay Shaw in the house.
Oh man, you know what? It's funny you mentioned my quarantine beard because this is the shortest my beard has been in years because of quarantine. I want to be able to get that tight mask fit if I have to. So it's only like an inch long right now. It was probably 3 inches before. Jay Shaw, what's your quarantine beard looking like?
Yeah, please send in a pic. I see somebody asking about a Dumb and Dumber print. I know we have this A24 question. I just want to say I also support the idea of a Dumb and Dumber print. I did buy the original soundtrack to Dumb and Dumber. That movie means a lot to me. I'm going to join in Joshua Medina and his vote for a print. I'll leave
Amelie, you would also support an American Pie.
I said that to you in confidence.
To answer this question, yes.
Yeah, let's not talk about American Pie.
More A24.
We can't. Yeah, we can't. They are like the one place we can't say anything about, though. So
yeah. When's the next Batman the Animated Series PCC? We have a lot coming out that PCC is doing for Batman. There's more posters. Another box set that I think has been spoken to already. And have we announced the other thing, Rob?
I'm sorry, what you said?
Have we announced the other Batman?
Yeah, we have actually. You can go ahead and tell them the episode names if they haven't seen the images or weren't at Mondo Talk. We've already said them what's on the schedule. So
no, not the next posters. Then like we have more posters. We have the records, and have we announced the third thing? I think we have. It's out. It's on Amazon, right? Like the pre-orders, I think up. Yeah, they're doing a book. We're doing
the book's coming out in September. You can take pre-orders now, but it'll be released in September. I'm sorry, man. You cut out a little bit. I couldn't quite hear.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, we are doing a full the art of Batman the Animated Series as envisioned by Phantom City Creative, and everything he's done and then some will be collected in that hardcover book, and it's going to be awesome.
AJ Arley's asked like 5 times now. Next Halloween soundtrack. I'm not sure if he means the next Halloween movie, like Halloween Kills, or our next Halloween soundtrack. But our next Halloween soundtrack is going to be Halloween 6, which we were hoping to release for Texas Frightmare, but obviously that isn't happening. But it'll be this year for sure.
Halloween 6 is the best, man.
I'm gonna play musical chairs here for a minute and get some other folks in, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see here.
Jack Hughes in the house.
Got Jack Hughes in the house?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hi, Jack Hughes.
Jack.
Hi, Jack. How are you, bud?
We're not going to hear it. I don't know why we stopped talking.
I don't know why we're waiting for him to answer. Right?
Jack, why aren't you
Kurtz
here?
Is in the house. Rory Kurtz in the house.
Rory.
What's up, Rory? New posters from.
I'm just gonna randomly
both of those
shout out
forums.
people.
I know there's so many pals. This is great.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with comments.
I kind of hope this level of socialization continues after we're allowed to go out again, because I just don't want to. I didn't before. I don't want to after. This is perfect.
What is for my fellow talking heads here? What are you guys most kind of looking? We probably all have a similar answer, but what are you looking forward to once doors sort of open again?
Sports.
Sports for sure.
Going to the movies.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah, sports and movies for sure.
and
Concert.
I was going to say see my parents.
I was going to say my friends
Florida.
and family would be
Jeez.
nice to see too.
I've
Jerks.
seen my mom. That's old news. You know, give me Tenet. You know, that's all I need.
Any of the artists that are hanging in the comments, would you guys be open to doing some sort of thing with us here on YouTube? Would that be fun? Let us know in the comments.
Ooh, I like
And-
you. Like
and-
you're like a professional YouTuber already.
I was gonna say,
Subscribe,
be sure to smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button and
subscribe.
subscribe.
Hit the bell on your way out.
Yes, exactly. Hit the bell. Oh, Peter says subscribe.
I
too.
saw a question while I was backstage about Matt Taylor, Ryan Johnson stuff, and I will say, because maybe he didn't chime in the comment section, but he's expressed to me multiple times about doing Brothers Bloom. It's Jay, Jesus Christ. You have other projects to finish, okay? Jay, finish Thief, finish World's End, get real. Matt Taylor expressed doing Brothers Bloom. I'm pretty sure that Nathan Johnson's on board. He's excited after having done Knives Out with us. I think basically that's the last soundtrack for us to have done. Brick as well. And we have plans to do it as well. It's just a couple of months ahead.
We have David Chisholm here who joined us, and David kind of helps run our publishing and all the books that we're putting out. So Chiz, kind of going back to what we were talking about with just kind of projects you're excited about personally. Anything you want to chat about or share?
Sure. We have a lot of things in the works. Not a lot that's totally approved, I guess. But we're hoping to do, if there's interest for it among people, we're hoping to do a book about Sofubi, Japanese vinyl toys, maybe with Spencer on here and Mikey and Toys. So if people are interested in that, then you should tell everyone that you're interested in it.
I'm interested in it.
So yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about right now. Maybe some Kung Fu books, maybe some stuff about the history of AGFA and Weird Wednesday at the Alamo and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming down the line that I'm excited about.
Sorry, I was typing.
For those who have seen me very excitedly looking out past my window, my wife literally just ran outside the house to go interact with a stray cat that's just in our yard, who just decided to just lay down right in front of where I've been talking this whole entire time, and she just like frolicked out the door as fast as she could to go and interact with it. So I apologize if I've been making a lot of weird faces.
Hey, Chiz, what's the last book you read?
What's that, Rob?
So what was the last book you actually read or bought?
I'm actually in the middle of 2001: A Space Odyssey right now that I borrowed from Allie. We've been exchanging sci-fi books while we're in quarantine.
Your first time reading it or rereading?
First time reading it. I've seen the movie several times, but I've never read it.
Allie had me read that book too. I feel like that's low-key her mission. She's like trying to get
Yeah.
everyone to read that book.
It's pretty awesome. I was not expecting. There's like way more caveman stuff in the book than in the movie, and I was not expecting that.
You've got some weird sequels to read too, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Stanley Kubrick was known to change the source material to fit his whims.
I'm reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and it might be trash. I don't know.
Dude, come on. Get real.
Yeah, no, he's right, man. That and the Tao of Pooh, seriously.
I'm
go
so
to the right.
50-50 on it. I'm so 50-50. I read it, and I'm like, I like some of this a lot, and some of this is just utter pretentious babbling. So,
What's everyone else reading?
I started reading J.J. Abrams' book. Did you ever read or heard of S?
Did you start reading that?
I did. It's so fucking hard to Sorry. It's so hard to read. It literally is a full book. If
You
for
should
those
tell
who
the
don't know
story.
about J.J. Abrams.
You should tell the story of how that became a Mondo book club.
Oh my god.
That was never the Mondo book club.
The Mondo Book Club. I'll let you tell that story, but for those who don't know what S is, it's a book that J.J. Abrams willed into existence using an author who wrote a fake book called The Ship of Theseus, which is a pirate novel, right? And if it wasn't J.J. Abrams enough, he also then has all of the margins of all the pages filled with notes that are corresponded by different ink colors by two different people who have been passing the book back and forth between each other, writing notes to each other. So there's a story in the margins as well that's telling a story about the missing author who wrote this book and the conspiracy that led to his disappearance. And I only literally have ever gotten through chapter 2, 3, ever since I've ever tried. And I'm like trying in earnest now in quarantine to do it.
That sounds awful. Oh my god. I want to burn that book. I've never said that in my life until right now. It's the first book I've ever wanted to burn.
I'm just reading comics right now to answer that question.
Comics.
I will say this.
particularly-
My favorite puzzle, strangely enough, our Dungeons and Dragons puzzle was a ton of fun, even though it is 90% red.
Yeah, our puzzles have scaled difficulty levels for the puzzle enthusiasts. I feel like they all have their own different ways of being difficult, though. Like, I love Rory's a lot, the Captain America puzzle.
I just did that one.
Yeah. I cannot pick my favorite. It's like asking a mother to pick her favorite child. I love them all, or else I wouldn't have made them. So
You'd be a great mom. Huh.
I don't know.
That was a nice answer.
Allie wants to talk about Dune. You can tag me out if you guys are going to get all dorky and talk about Dune.
Let's talk about worms.
we hope to do Dune. My kids are trying to encroach on this.
You can tag me out for Spencer also, who's also equally excited to talk about Dune, apparently. Who would have thunk it?
It's the greatest movie ever made.
Someone posted, I hope the theater is open again by the time the film comes out, and I concur.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm allowing myself to be excited about it at this point.
It's gonna be so good.
Oh, I think it is.
I think
it's
me
gonna
and
be Lynch.
I think me and Chisholm have a lot of art taste in common. Everything I see framed behind him is always fire stuff that I've almost framed. He's got Charlie Brown. He's got Brandon's Creature from the Black Lagoon. He's got all kinds of stuff framed up.
He's the best of us.
He might be.
You like the little X-Men posters that I got out of the cartoon VHSs from when I was a kid?
Eric likes that.
I would love to do more before stuff. Mo and I were actually just talking about that trilogy and wanting to rewatch it. I think Mo actually did start rewatching it based on his Instagram on Sunday. But if you've never seen the before sunrise, sunset, and midnight, highly recommend. They are amazing.
Yeah, I think we're definitely planning to do stuff for Dune eventually. People keep asking about Dune.
Yes.
Also, Wo Rang is asking or saying he wants a print for Revenge. I love that movie. I just don't think that many people would show up for a Revenge poster.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That's a hard one to try and put out.
Ooh, any good drink and soundtrack pairings? Spence, that's
Cool
question.
drinks and lots of soundtracks.
I think we should also point out that the guy asking about drink and soundtrack pairings has Miller High Life in his screen name.
Yeah, I'm going to say Fresca with the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack, or Sprite Zero with the Cruising soundtrack. Those are my pairings.
Ugh.
Tim, we
Surely
should
we
have.
could be poppers.
Cruising soundtrack goes great to Ether Rag, and that's about it.
I love my cruising soundtrack that was given to me for Christmas by Rob Jones with a drawing of Garfield as a penis on it.
Virtual hug, bud. Hope you're doing all right. What's happening with the soundtrack art book? Spence?
It's gonna be it is. Amazon is correct. It's gonna be next year. So with everything that's happening right now, we have some pretty big plans for launch events that we want to do, similar to They Live, like across the like 5-6 locations across the world. And we can't do that right now, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that for the rest of this year. So yeah, it's going to be next year, but it's looking really good. We just got like final proofs this week, and it's a pretty great kind of history of the first 10 years of both labels. So,
Attack Peter in the house.
So we're excited for it.
Someone asked if we had more plans or more posters we were going to work on with Attack Peter.
Yes.
Yes. Allie's backstage. 2099.
You can send me out and pull Allie in. I gotta put my tiny baby to bed anyways.
Bye, Chiz.
Bye, man.
See you later.
Hanging out.
I want to tell a story real quick, and I know this isn't exactly how it happened, but this is part of the reason it happened. Attack Peter is a really good, if you're an artist out there, is a really good example of why to do trade shows, because he was about 2 rows from us at San Diego Comic-Con, and that's where at least some of us found his work, and here we are now.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Hardiman.
Yeah,
shout out
Matt
Hardiman from our team. He's been a big champion and friend of Peter's for a while, and a few weeks before Comic-Con, he came and was like, "Hey, have you seen this guy?" and let us know that he was going to be, a couple rows over from us. And while we were there, we went and chatted with him. Fell in love with his work, and he's a good dude. So yeah. Can't wait to do more.
AB, you're gonna get everything you wanted. You're gonna get exactly what you want. That's all I have to say, because it's point blank exactly what you want. You're gonna get it. Don't worry.
There's a question here. What's Mondo Games working on?
We're working on so much stuff right now. What can I talk about? We have in our Unmatched line, we've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer 4-pack is coming out soon. That's on its way. We also have the second of our Jurassic Park games that is in the works right now. Florian Bertner is doing the art on that one, and it's looking really nice so far. We just put out Stoner Parking Lot, which is really cool. It's one that we can actually play on video chat. It's really hard to make games when you can't get together with folks in person and play them. So having something that you can do through Zoom has been a treat for us. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But if you like games, there's all kinds on the horizon.
Merry Christmas, Connor.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Oh, I remember the famous throwing movies at people for Christmas. Yeah.
Is Rob even still there?
Yeah, I just saw him walk by. He, for some backstory, at a Mondo Christmas party at Rob's house, he emptied out all of the old DVDs that he had never opened and gave them out to people on the way out the door for Christmas.
And they were individually wrapped in wrapping paper. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to Jenny.
Shout out to Jenny. Rob, Max has a question for you. What would you recommend to drink while listening to Judy Garland live at Carnegie Hall?
Her favorite drink, Blue Nun.
Tears.
Blue Nun, which is apparently her favorite drink.
What's that, Rob?
What is that?
It's a cheap one.
It's really bad wine, man.
Yeah.
We would have that like at a Sunday lunch, like back when I was a kid, and my mom and dad would think it was like super posh. But it's fair.
Is that like the American equivalent is Mad Dog 2020 or Boone's Farm?
Yeah.
Well, it's got a nun on it. She would hide a bottle of it in her muff when she would go out for.
Matt Ryan Tobin.
What?
Ryan Tobin in the house.
Oh, her hand muff. Sorry.
Oh.
Is the WBYK solo show still happening this year? Probably not.
I don't think any shows are happening this year, if we're all being honest.
I think shows are a thing of the past for a minute. So, we're pivoting the We Buy Your Kids stuff, kind of look what we did with Godzilla, and those will all be just a series of awesome online releases that'll be starting really soon.
Somebody keeps asking if Aaron, or I think a couple people are asking if Aaron Horkey's going to do a Mondo poster.
You're the guy to ask.
I think so. I think so. He's a hard person to say yes for sure, but there's an assignment in place.
Well, the mystery movies come back, yes, in some degree at some point in time. Again, with
I think we were getting pretty close to doing it, or to start to plan one or two, and then this all happened.
Yeah, definitely. So again, everything is just a giant question mark at the moment, but hopefully when things sort of level out and normalize, fun things like that can become the norm again. But yeah, definitely.
It was going to be huge too, man.
Yeah, you'll never believe what we had planned. It was
so awesome.
Oh, Jeff asking if there's any Selena posters in the works.
That was the mystery movie. It was Selena.
It's going to be in Corpus Christi. Yeah, it was right next to the statue. I'm sorry, man.
Damn COVID.
Attack Peter just with a no shit. What up?
Did I ever tell you my Selena story?
Now's the time.
Yeah, now is the time.
Okay.
Regale us.
So I go to go see the movie Crash, the real Crash, not the crappy one. And there's a huge line out, and I was like, "Oh wow, great! Everyone's here for Cronenberg, of course, because it's an awesome movie." And so I get in line, and then the reporters are coming to interview people in line, and I'm like, "Oh wow, this because it's such a controversial movie, makes sense." And they get to me, and they go, "Why are you here to see Selena, the movie?" And I was like, "I'm in the wrong line. Wow." I got out.
Cool story, bro.
God, I'm so glad I'm not on camera. That was awesome.
You got him live. Were you guys ever do a yearly subscription? We've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
We've definitely talked about doing something like that. Maybe there's pros and cons to it for sure. So,
yeah, I think there's probably something coming eventually. We would never do like a full. Here's a subscription for everything we release, but there has been talks of like doing some sort of exclusivity. Hi, Amy Gonzalez.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Hi, Leslie. Leslie, you missed me talking you up. Michael.
Leslie's here? Oh, and Michael Conrad is here? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Michael's here. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a pretty introverted homebody, but even I'm missing getting the fuck out of my house.
Yeah. Hi, Michael, and tell Becky we say hi.
Yeah,
Michael's trying to get Becky on a Green Knight poster.
Michael Mosier's asking if Singing in the Rain is still happening. That definitely is still happening. May not be this year, maybe next year, but that's my all-time favorite musical. So there's no way we're not going to release that.
Hey, Spence, what's your second favorite musical?
I was going to ask the same thing.
You know what? I really love White Christmas, man.
I am surprised again. Wow.
Yeah, like I watched that movie every year growing up.
Spencer, do you like Sing Street?
Yeah, I love Sing Street, man.
Oh, Sing Street's so good.
Yeah,
me too.
Hate Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I just started watching The Leftovers. It's really good.
Wait, did you say you hated Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah,
Show?
Me too.
Because it's so boring, or why do you hate it?
It's terrible.
Wait, have you seen Shock? Have you seen Shock?
I feel like that's
it's just everything.
Yeah, I'm with Mitch, man. It's not good.
It's got Tim Curry. It's great. But have you seen Shock Treatment?
Yeah.
Not the sequel, not the prequel, but the equal.
Yeah.
I prefer Shock Treatment to Rocky Horror.
Anyone would. Rocky Horror's trash.
What time does this thing go till?
Man, there's no rules here. We're an hour and 9 minutes in.
When do the questions stop rolling in?
Hey, miss you too.
I'll hang out with you guys until nobody else is watching.
What else do you have going on? I'm gonna switch some folks out.
Is that creepy? It sounded creepy. You can cut me out. That was weird. I said
No,
something.
that's not weird, Ellie. That's like a normal night out.
Okay.
Oh, it's just Spencer now. He's out now. He went from star of the show to out.
Poor Spence. Oh, he came back in too.
Oh,
I'm
man.
live DJing here. This is stressful.
So whenever you're backstage, all you want to do is just like scream and like be like, "Hey, I have an answer for that." Someone asked about revenge, and all I wanted to tell everyone was that, like, did you see that Selena Gomez, of all people, the most popular person on Instagram, literally was just sort of like, "Hey, if you're looking for something to watch right now," she like just zoomed in on her like TV and was just like, "Watch Revenge."
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
The
That's
most
weird.
popular person on Instagram was just sort of like, "Hey, tonight, watch the movie Revenge if you have some free
to
time."
be fair, she is Spring Breaker's own Selena Gomez.
That's true.
You never know what her film taste is.
You never do.
Someone just posted about, or Eric had on the screen about doing Terrence Malick films. I don't think we have too much in the works. I will say that we did just do a poster for the Terrence Malick produced Lil Peep documentary, though, and not too many people showed up to buy it, but we did it because we loved it.
Not to show, but I mean, if you haven't seen that movie, it's on Netflix and it's really good.
It is really good. It's really
I'm waiting
sad.
till after quarantine.
And Randy and Midnight Marauder really killed it on those posters. So super proud of those.
And I got to talk to his mom about it, so that was cool.
What would you guys say is the most technically difficult print that we've done?
I mean, honestly, right up there is the very recent Scott C. Star Wars print. That was a print that was a full color painting that we went into it planning for it to be a giclée. The problem is that at giclée it would have been even more expensive than it already was. And so we sort of went to John and said, John Smith, our color separations person, and said,
Shout out John Smith.
"Can you do anything with this? Is this even possible?" And I got to see the craziness at work and watch it up close, where he was just throwing things down on paper and writing down things. And he was like, "Yeah, I think I can do this in about 10 or 11 colors." And even still seeing the how it came together, I'm not quite sure how it was done. Rob and I, in the early days of, not the early days, but the early days for us of concert posters, the things that used to be considered technical for color separating and screen printing is, I mean, nothing like that would have ever even been considered.
It's laughable what people are amazed by back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to what's
Like, I remember a Daniel Danger all blue painting being like something that took 5 years to find the right person to separate it back in the day. And it was all just blues. So nowadays, to be able to do a painting of every single Star Wars character on it and all color accurate in 10, 11, 12 colors screen print is unbelievable.
I would say Wood since 2001 was kind of difficult too, because he figured out the math on his own end, but it was like some crazy color interactions. It was a brand new substrate, that weird black paper we got.
I think that in the early days, as far as like, you know, what's the best film? Oh, it's Citizen Kane because was so early.
Mitch, stop rubbing your mic.
Is this my mic?
Yeah.
Was it your worry beads there, Eastern Promises? Jesus.
Anyway, as far as being like what made the biggest difference early, it was probably Drew Struzan's Frankenstein. I think that was one of the first ones that we took to DNL and said, "Can you do anything with this painting?" And it came out looking like as good as the painting, and that's when we started to realize what could be done.
Well, it's actually interesting you bring that up, because I remember being on the phone with Steve, and after he'd done the first pass, we're like, "Dude, we need to see like the brush strokes." He goes, "Oh, really? That level of detail? No problem." And he went back, but it cost like another 5 or 6 colors to get to that level.
Yeah,
you could dial it up and down depending on what we needed. We're like, we needed.
Did Jason Edmiston do the steps for the Frankenstein?
Nope, it was half Kevin Tong and half
Kevin
Steve.
Tong. Oh, awesome.
Kevin.
No, half Kevin Tong, half Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same for the Thing.
Before we started working with John Smith, we were sending things to Steve and on top of everything else he does, asking him to separate paintings. And he's probably real glad that we have John Smith now.
Actually, now I think about it, didn't Kevin also do the separations on Tomer Hanuka's Star Wars poster?
I could see that being true.
Yeah.
He's also colored some posters for us.
There will be more Woodson prints. I see a couple people asking for those. And I'm right there with you.
Allie, I do not have shoes on. She said, is anyone wearing shoes?
I think Hector has to leave.
I do, guys. I got dinner bells ringing.
Bye, Hector. I'm gonna
love you, man.
get off. I'm gonna get off in a
man.
minute too.
It was awesome chatting with everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay
You
safe,
too,
everyone.
man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I got about 5 minutes left as well.
We can probably just call that if you guys want. Start lining it down.
Yeah.
This was cool.
Julian is asking if we are going to do more work with Wiley Beckert. Yes, we're very pleased with Clockwork. Interestingly enough, Clockwork Orange behind the scenes was something that we didn't know if it would be too far out there for our crowd, and luckily we were pleasantly surprised that it was not.
Yeah, we just asked Wiley. We just assigned her on the next one. So super excited about
What's
that
the
one.
next one?
What is the next one?
I can't remember either.
I really love that print, by the way. For the record, I'm always
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, Full Metal
So,
Jacket. Yeah.
Spencer and I, who's now being featured by a painting, a Ghana painting behind him. Every single time we're looking for new artists, I'm always like, we look for these amazing talents all around the world, and then we see a poster artist that you guys discover, like Wiley, and I'm always just like, holy shit, this is so amazing. And that art was some of my favorite, maybe my favorite poster you guys have done this year so far. So I'm excited to hear that she's doing more.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. Mitch, I think Mitch brought her to the table. And
Yeah, I think it was an
Thank you,
Instagram
Mitch.
find. Sure.
I like this question about any new Leica stuff from Yogi Bear.
new Leica stuff.
I hope so. We were going to do some pretty big Leica stuff that involved in-person interaction, and then this all happened.
Yeah.
And then this all happened.
We
love Leica. We've been lucky that we've been able to go up to Portland for the last 3 films, and they've shown us their movies like well in advance before they've been finished. And we take tours of their sets, and they let us basically they bring us into the family in this like really tremendous way that's like unparalleled in any other studio. And so we love working with them and would do everything they ever do ever from now on. But I don't know what their next film is at this point. And I don't know.
I say, I hope they send their families some more shoes.
What?
Somebody's got a pretty extensive question about that thing you do for Mo and Spencer. Well, Spencer's gone, but.
So that thing you do, the simplest and least controversial way to answer this is that the record is now in for a form of approvals that wasn't able to be done until Hanks and Gary Gertzman finished up their film that they were working on called Greyhound, which was scheduled to come out this summer. It's the submarine film. If you Google it, you can see a trailer for it. But they've been working on that literally for the last 2 years, right around the time we started working on the soundtrack album, and they just couldn't simultaneously work on it and this reissue because it's their baby and they really wanted to be hands-on in this time and in this strange circumstance, especially with Adam passing. It's become a priority for them, and we've started talking about it a little bit more since the quarantine started. There's no firm timeline. Ideally this year, that's the general idea. Next year is 25. So there's a possibility we may have to hold it until next year, but it's definitely soon. It's moving in the way that it hasn't before, and they're very hands-on. Playtone is Hanks and the producer and the music supervisor. They're all very, very hands-on. in doing this the test pressing giveaway, we got to communicate with the actual band, which was really, really exciting. I texted Eric at one point and was just sort of like, this is super surreal. I'm on an email thread with the Wonders. And it was the craziest thing that's happened to me in a very long time. So it's happening. It's definitely happening. And, hopefully soon, hopefully this year. But if it doesn't come out until next year, just know that it's probably because next year is technically the 25th anniversary.
What is the deal?
They're asking if there's any hints on who the artist for that thing you do is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just to quickly answer, just to dispel any rumor, it's going to be photographic. The idea came when we, because Playtone was also Josie and the Pussycats, so it'll be asset based, it'll be photo based, but it'll be a lot of stills that you've never seen before, a lot of stuff that was taken behind the scenes, a lot of really great pieces of photography from the 90s that are going to make it feel very period accurate, but also make it feel very cool for fans.
Mo, somebody else wants the Toto Dune score, so that's two of us.
There are dozens of us. I think that's coming out for Record Store Day. I feel like I saw that on the list.
I don't remember. I hope so.
I haven't, but I'll get it again.
Woring is asking, what's the deal with Martin Anson?
What's the deal with Martin Anson?
He just turned in his next one.
It's huge. It's going to be huge, I think.
Yeah, it's
a long time in the making too.
It's a pretty obscure title, right?
It's pretty obscure and it's very cosmically operatic.
Market watch with Mitch. It's going to be huge.
Yeah. It's going to be you. Anyway, also, people keep bringing up, well, a couple people have brought up that, sorry, I got interrupted. The Crow inspired merch. We're going to do something for the Crow soon. Anyway,
today we were talking about that. Can't wait.
Someone keeps bringing up that they really want Anson to tackle Creature from the Black Lagoon because that's the one. Is that the only one he has left? No. It's not.
Are you still rubbing your mic, man?
Yeah, that's for sure.
You gotta stop, dude. You're gonna get cut.
No, I'm not. Oh, it might be because I'm playing with this sticker. I'm telling you, I'm not on the mic.
Maybe that quickly the guy.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't. It's not my mic on my headphones.
All right, well, don't stop playing with.
It's your beard touching it. I can see it. I can see it happening.
That's not the mic I have on.
Yeah, it is right there.
Make noise. Oh man, that's not what I had going. Anyway,
oh geez.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that being the next poster we put him on.
Yeah. I agree. Comic-Con is canceled. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but we're trying to figure out kind of alternate plans to still do a fun thing in July. So hopefully more information on that soon.
Michael Conrad says it's my chain jingle, and that's right. You got a big giant encrusted Mondo logo chain on underneath my shirt, and then you guys can see it.
We'll take a few more. Let us know if you guys. I always feel very YouTube-y when I start talking like this, but let us know if you guys like.
Spence is telling me that someone's been asking about the Hook soundtrack, and I just want to make sure that that person doesn't go up hanging. It's been on a list for us for a very long time. I love that score a lot. It came to sort of a standstill because there was conflict about whether or not we want to release like this full expanded John Williams score or just the previously released album. We have a bunch of John Williams stuff in the works right now. A Hook is not coming out this year, but I would like to put it out eventually, maybe next year. I think next year is 30, 20, 30, 91 to 21 is 30.
It's
oh
30.
My God, 30 years of Hook. Wow. So it might that'd be 30, right? Okay. It'd be, yeah. So maybe next year. But I'm glad to hear that someone would be excited about that. Thank you for inquiring, and I apologize. It took us a long time to get to that.
30 years of Hook has flown by.
Whoa, my dog's here. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, my kids are doing similar things, so I probably gotta wrap it up here.
Let us know if you guys were into this. This was
Eric, you have not used the banner nearly enough.
Yeah, this is our first banner the whole time.
This was super fun. Let us know if you guys were into this, and maybe we'll keep doing some more. But Cutter keeps asking about Stan and Vince's Jackie Brown poster.
I didn't think you answered
Don't
that.
ask. That's Eric. Remember how we had a pre-talk about this, and you said some questions you just ignore?
Yeah,
That's one of them.
I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm just gonna dispel that poster's. It's not. If that poster's done, it's not gonna come out. Unfortunately, I won't go into further detail. But yeah, that's not a thing.
Connor Manning asked one of the most important questions of my life.
What was it?
Does a couple owe us me too?
The age-old Mondo question.
Wait, I have a question. What defines a sandwich?
I don't know if that question can ever be answered. I feel like that's a philosophical question that is debated at an academic level.
The people have spoken. I think people were into this. So.
Are you just omitting all the people who are telling us terrible things? Like, I hated this. This was terrible.
Yeah, never do it again.
Whoever didn't like it, please tell us.
Smash
Robert-
the dislike button.
Robert Summerfield was asking about, we did, I guess, tease that Emerson was going to do Indiana Jones. I'm not sure if we're still going to go that direction, to tell you the truth. I think there's been questions from Jason to us to audience to competition as to whether or not we should do Indiana Jones right now, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
And a hot dog is a sandwich.
You guys
Thank
want to see
you.
my dog?
Thank you. Yes, please.
I mean, I guess theoretically, but you can't tell me that one of these days you were going to like go to lunch at Hot Dogs and people say, "What'd you have for lunch?" A sandwich.
No, it's a hot
Hot
dog.
dog isn't even open anymore, dude.
I would
I
say
know.
a Reuben if it
I'm
was
just using a Chicago reference you would understand.
Okay, I do appreciate that. I used to live next door to Hot Dogs, and my room always smelled good.
Nice.
This is
Spencer
Charlie.
is in the wings, and he's been giving me prompts, so I apologize. He's telling me lots of Cronenberg asks. I will say that we are working on. Spencer, you answer.
Oh shit! I didn't realize I was still there. Yeah, we are. We love David Cronenberg, and we are working on a film he made with Debbie Harry right now, which is very exciting. But we're also working with his son, Brandon, on his new film, which is called Possessor, which is one of the wildest films you're going to see this year. Like, it blew me away, man. So
Drop me that link.
I'll torrent it to you, Mitch.
You drop me that link.
Yeah, it's really good. So, and we're huge fans of Cronenberg. So we're really excited to be working on some classic David Cronenberg and some future classic Brandon Cronenberg.
Somebody has asked at least 5 times if you guys are going to put The Lost World out on vinyl.
You know, this came up in our last Instagram conversation. It's a movie I literally have not seen since 1997. We are working right now with Universal on the last Jurassic World film. Who knows? But after we finish that, I'd be happy to finish up the original trilogy. Right now, it's just not on the list, but that'd be cool. I need to rewatch the film, quite frankly, but it's Williams. Therefore it is pretty essential and pretty iconic.
I'm going to give some rapid fire questions. Let's just do some yes or no's before we get out of here, okay? Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I'd say for posters, no. Records.
We are This is for no one and everyone. I'm actually good friends with Chris Carrabba of Dashboard Confessional, and it is the 20th anniversary of Dashboard Confessional. And right now we are working on a Spider-Man 2 adjacent release. That's all I will say.
All right.
On that.
Annette says more Cronenberg. Hi, Annette. How are you?
Hi, Annette.
That guy's vindicated.
Will we ever
get
Batman Begins or Dark Knight scores on vinyl?
Sure, I'd love that. We haven't done a lot of Nolan films. We were supposed to do Inception at one point, and it fell apart because we were too busy trying to figure out whether or not we can figure out how to do the Edith Piaf tracks at 3 different speeds on one disc. And it fell apart, and then we did not.
These are not yes or no answers.
Eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of these are Lost in Translation vinyl. Please, I'm sure that's an I wish.
Yes.
Next
Lost
year.
in Translation print, please. I wish.
Lost in Translation is more than an I wish, Mitch.
Okay.
No, we're actually doing it. We're doing it next year.
Which
I actually
Universal
I just texted Spence that I want to do Marie Antoinette as well.
Oh, I would love that. Which Edmiston monster is next? I think it's Invisible Man, right? Is that right? Yep. Someone says, are we ignoring the question about doing Last of Us 2? No, I think we're hoping to do something for that.
We are doing Last of Us Part 2 on the soundtrack side of things.
There you go. And we are hoping to. Evangelion, no, if that's how you say that, I wish.
Yeah, I wish too.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
Eventually, we have to finish up the beginning of the Metal Gear series. We're doing Metal Gear Solid Snake first, and then we'll get back to the Solid series.
Okay. All right. Well, and Cutter keeps bringing up Jay Ryan. I would love to make more Jay Ryan posters always.
Yeah.
Also, the soundtrack department should strongly consider Jay Ryan for soundtrack artwork because I think he'd be even better for that.
For sure.
Yeah. Someone's asking about Alien 3. Me and Mo had a conversation about that.
Literally, reading
Jay
our
Ryan
mind.
would be perfect for Alien 3.
Someone was asking about. Someone's also been asking about any more Marvel soundtracks, particularly more Netflix seasons.
Somebody's asking about more Tyler Stout releases. You never do know.
There are more Marvel soundtracks.
Marvel Netflix, we've pivoted to the films. Unfortunately, we will not be going back to do more season 2s and 3s for the series, mostly just because they're gone. If you have like a diehard, like you're super passionate about it, you think a soundtrack that's been wildly overlooked, please let us know. Hit us up on Twitter or DM me or message me or Spencer on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll look into it. Honestly, like we have 20 other Marvel film soundtracks that we have to get through eventually. So let us know.
Can I just call out Robert Summerfield right now? Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yes.
Yes.
That is a huge.
Let's say everyone from here on save their questions for next time. Think up new ones. Give us lots of questions.
Yeah, well, I think we'll definitely be doing this. People seem to be into it, so there will be more, and we will be back. Maybe we'll make it like a weekly thing or something.
Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with us. This is always so fun, and it's always very fulfilling that you guys would spend 90 minutes talking to us. Thank you.
I totally agree.
Hope everybody's staying safe and staying sane and doing all right. And take care. And
we couldn't do this without you, so thank you guys so much. We love you.
Yeah, we appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. And I love my fellow coworkers here. Bye, you guys. I'll talk to you later. All right.